I really need everyone to spare me the faux outrage and the pearl clutching about this. Little collection of things that Donald Trump and high-ranking Republicans call liberals on a daily basis: anarchists, anti-American, deranged, communists, corrupt, compromised, groomers and perverts, thugs and traitors. Now, she was explicit that she was talking about a subsection of the Republican Party the same way that Joe Biden is when he talks about these MAGA extremism. But you tell me, if the leader of the Democratic Party, so that would be Joe Biden, was facing 4 indictments with 91 felony counts, he had been found liable of sexually assaulting a woman and defaming her, that's E. Jean Carroll, guilty of fraud, sharing the nation's secrets, not only in the Mar-a-Lago indictment, but there was a report yesterday from ABC News that he had shared information about our nuclear submarine capacities with an Australian billionaire who's a member at Mar-a-Lago, who had then gone on and shared that with dozens of other people, ended up making a purchase, I think, of 3 subs. It included specifics up to how many nuclear warheads they carry and how close they can get to Russian subs without being detected. And then I told you, so all of that is happening, and he's shooting up in the polls. And when you see those interviews of Trump supporters outside of the rallies, they're like, none of this is true. It's the big lie. He won the election, et cetera. And you wouldn't say to me, you guys are in a cult? It's actually tame, what Hillary Clinton was saying.
This is Jessica Tarlov, resident Democrat on Fox, who I wouldn't believe hasn't been fired yet, if not for the fact that Fox would actually love nothing more than ganging up 4 Republicans on 1 Democrat and thinking that it's a fair fight for their audience. Although, given what we just saw, it's actually not a fair fight, although not in the way that Fox had hoped. Tarlov's response here came in the wake of right-wing media's faux outrage machine running on full blast in the aftermath of this comment by Hillary Clinton.
Very strong partisans in both parties in the past, and we had very bitter battles over all kinds of things, gun control and climate change and the economy and taxes. But there wasn't this little tail of extremism wagging the dog of the Republican Party as it is today. Mm-hmm. And sadly, so many of those extremists, those MAGA extremists, take their marching orders from Donald Trump, who has no credibility left by any measure. He's only in it for himself. He's now defending himself in civil actions and criminal actions. And when do they break with him? Because at some point, maybe there needs to be a formal deprogramming of the cult members, but something needs to happen.
And my God, the fainting spells that followed were enough to knock the earth off its axis. Here's just a small sampling.
Formal deprogramming of cult members. I saw this last night, my husband and I did, and he stopped me and he said, did I hear that right? And we actually had to rewind to ensure we were correct, that she wants to, Tommy, formally deprogram Trump supporters. You expect to hear this in the Soviet Union, in communist China, and third world country dictatorships, but not here in the United States.
So what would Hillary's deprogramming look like? Do we get triple vaxxed while we watch Maddow? Does Huma Abedin flog us with bamboo? Does she make us memorize the Mueller report while we hand out I'm with her T-shirts to migrants? Hillary's North Korean re-education camp sounds a lot more like a cult than MAGA. Hillary telling me that boys can be girls and that Fetterman's a sharp dresser isn't going to make us vote for Joe. This sounds a lot like what the Pentagon did to terrorists. Dropping leaflets in Syria, broadcasting propaganda from a loudspeaker on the back of a Humvee. If it sounds like counter-terror psychological warfare, it is.
The bigger question here, we know how Hillary feels. I don't think any of us are shocked that she said this. It's got dangerous implications. It's insulting. It's condescending. We know that. We expect it from Hillary.
If you're a Democrat and you cultishly and slavishly worship Barack Obama or Hillary Clinton, or now an elderly dotard who has the inability to speak from his face hole, then that's because you're normal. But if you're a Trump fan, or even if you're not a Trump fan, but you voted for him, this means that you are a MAGA member who must be deprogrammed. What does that mean, a formal deprogramming of the cult members? Does that sound fascistic to you? It sounds fascistic to me. Are you talking about fun adult camps like she once talked about? Re-education camps? Like what would formal deprogramming even look like from Hillary Clinton?
Here's now Hillary Clinton in the 21st century arguing for, when you think deprogramming, should there be conversion therapy? Should it, I thought we were maybe against that. How do you collect these people up in a camp? Now, you think, oh, that's outrageous. This happened within the 100 years, within the memories of people still alive today in ancient European civilizations that have a longer history than we did, went there. They went there, and Hillary it's ironic. She's complaining about, oh, it's like they're Nazis or whatever. Who has, for censorship, wanting to silence people, and now wanting to collect tens of millions of people, condemning them as so bad they need to be re-educated.
She framed it as, oh, the MAGA extremists, as if she's only talking about, kind of like a small handful of people. Oh, no. It's all of us. It's anyone who is conservative, who doesn't accept her vision for our country. She deems as, oh, well, you need to be reprogrammed. And let me be clear. Her vision is one where the elites control everything, and the rest of us just need to sit down and obey, take our edicts from on high, and do as what we're supposed to do. And that's what she's trying to do. But she kind of weaves it in and says, oh, MAGA extremists. No. We are all included. If you don't accept Hillary Clinton's vision, you are included in this reprogramming. And that's the fear.
I dare say, with all these Republicans getting the vapors, we'll need a fortnight worth of smelling salts just to bring them back to consciousness. And look, do Republicans actually think they're getting sent to re-education camps? Of course not. But this is what it looks like when they fire up the manufactured outrage machine. All these people who sat idly by while Donald Trump called for entire religions to be banned from the United States, who sat idly by while Trump coddled the world's autocrats and dictators, who do put people in camps, by the way, who sat idly by while Trump incited an insurrection against our own government, suddenly hear a woman who hasn't been in politics for almost a decade make some obscure comment that will have literally zero impact on anything, and they devote an entire day of coverage to it. The cognitive dissonance would be laughable if it wasn't so dangerous. Granted, we shouldn't be surprised. You all know this viral clip.
All right, this is it, people. Let's move. Let's go, 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 go.
That is basically Fox News as soon as Hillary Clinton says anything they can pretend to be furious about. And of course, the reason is obvious. Republicans need a boogeyman, and that is exactly what Hillary's been for them for the better part of a decade. They need someone, anyone, to serve as a valid distraction so that their supporters and viewers don't pay attention to what the Republican Party is doing legislatively. So long as they can train your attention on evil Hillary Clinton, then maybe, just maybe, you won't notice that Republicans are passing abortion bans and LGBT bans and book bans and interstate travel bans. Maybe you won't notice that they're trying to cut earned benefits like Social Security and Medicare and Medicaid. Maybe you won't notice that they're coddling gun manufacturers while mass shootings surge and fossil fuel companies that climate change worsens. Maybe you won't notice that they can't even choose a speaker to lead their own party. These people aren't dumb. They know exactly what they're doing, and what they're doing is giving their supporters something shiny to get angry about so that they can give themselves cover to screw those same supporters over. And let's be clear, they might present all of this righteous indignation about Hillary Clinton, but these people don't care about the things that they're wailing about. Think about it. Republicans spent the better part of a decade wailing about Hillary Clinton mishandling classified documents, which apparently was the gravest national security threat in the history of the world. And yet, while Trump's own State Department determined that Hillary Clinton had no classified material in her emails, it turned out that Donald Trump himself had over 300 confidential, secret, or top secret documents at Mar-a-Lago. And that when the National Archives tried to get those documents back, he refused. And look, I'm no math genius, but it would seem to me that if they believed Hillary Clinton should be, quote, locked up for mishandling 0 classified documents, then I'd imagine that they would want Donald Trump, quote, locked up for hundreds of mishandled and stolen classified documents, right? Right? Anyone? Anyone at all? So again, what's clear is that just like this was never about stolen documents or any legitimate grievance with Hillary Clinton back then, it also isn't about any legitimate grievance now. It is solely because they need a boogeyman. They need fodder for political attacks, because let's be clear, they've been doing this a long time. In fact, remember the whole Benghazi situation for which Hillary Clinton was named public enemy #1? Turns out that Republicans weren't so much interested in Benghazi as they were in tanking her poll numbers before the election. And don't take my word for it, here is Kevin McCarthy admitting as much.
Everybody thought Hillary Clinton was unbeatable, right? But we put together a Benghazi special committee, a select committee. What are her numbers today? Her numbers are dropping. Why? Because she's untrustable. But no one would have known any of that had happened had we not fought and made that happen.
It was about sinking her poll numbers, as explained inexplicably by Kevin McCarthy himself. Just more proof that even a decade ago, Kevin McCarthy was as inept a political tactician as he is today. And look, we can expose their hypocrisy until we're blue in the face It's not going to change any of these phony little temper tantrums, but what it can do is hopefully show just a few conservative viewers that they're being taken for a ride by people who traffic in faux outrage to get a rise out of the marks who watch their channel. These right-wing shows may claim to be exposing Hillary, but all they're doing is telling on themselves. Before you go, I need some help. Please subscribe to the channel and do your part to help grow the progressive media ecosystem. I don't do sponsorships or paid ads, I won't ask for money, but just subscribing to this channel goes a really long way, and it helps get the message out to more people. The subscribe button is right here on the screen. You can also subscribe to my Spanish language channel, which I made to reach those crucial Spanish-speaking voters. That link is on the screen too. And finally, if you want to listen to my audio podcast, you can follow that link as well. Thanks so much for watching.